Welcome to the lecture series on TE 326, Maintenance and Repairs of Electrical Equipment. Our topic for this lecture series is going to be on electrical safety rules and regulations. Now, to start with, workshop safety and indeed precautions is usually very, very important in all engineering and in particular in electrical electronics equipment. Safety is essential in order to prevent accidental work. It is also important to safeguard the life of the personnel that are working within the vicinity of the machines as well as the machines themselves. Now, in most industries and workshops, safety rules and regulations plus the codes of conduct practice are usually conspicuously displayed within the premises. For this lecture series, we're going to be talking about workshop safety, personnel safety, care of hand tools, care of machine tools, working space, as well as general space safety. To start with, we want you to write down some instructional safety guides on electrical appliances. The question still remains that you should think of some of the instructional safety guides that you must have ever come across in electrical appliances in the workshop. Of course, we know that each electrical appliances used to come with some instructional safety guides, which, like I mentioned earlier, are necessary to prevent accidental work as well as to safeguard the life of the personnel that are working within the vicinity of these machines. Now, compare your answers to the following instructional safety that we should be expecting on any appliances, on electrical appliances. Some of these safety instructional guides includes: 1, that you should use the right tool for the right job. Do not use files, hammers, or other similar tools without their handles. Do not attempt to use any machine or tool until you have been trained to use it. Of course, it is wise to find out where the master switch is located so that it can be switched off in case of emergency. Similarly, you should be familiar with the start and stop switches on any machine tool. Above all moving or revolving parts of machines must be provided with guards like protective screen or shade. Then the guards for drilling machines, sewing machines, etc. should not be removed unless for maintenance or repair purposes, in which case they should be replaced immediately after. Then, of course, you should always remember to isolate supply before fixing belts on machines. Now, these are samples of some of the instructional safety guides that you are likely to come across in an electrical machine. Now, for this particular lecture series, there are specific areas of workshop safety requirements that we are going to concentrate on. And some of these areas includes the aspects of machine tools, hand tools, working space, general handling, as well as the personnel safety. Now, these are the aspects of the workshop safety requirements that we are going to be discussing in this lecture series. Now, let us look at the first one, care of the hand tools. Of course, the hand tools are those tools that you normally use, for example, your screwdrivers, your pliers, your hammers, and so on. So there are essential safety requirements when you are using hand tools in the electrical workshop. For instance, you should always make sure that you use the right tool for the right job. That is to say, you should not use screwdrivers as hammers, or you use your teeth to peel cables. Of course, there are side cutters that you can use for this job. Similarly, you should also not use files, hammers, or similar tools without their handles. Of course, this is to safeguard against the possible hazards of electrocution. Then hand tools must be cleaned after use, and they should be returned in their packets to their rightful shelves or drawers. Then when you are carrying out chiseling or chipping, it should usually be done while you are facing towards the wall. Now let us look at machine tools. Now for machine tools, there are some essential safety requirements also. For instance, You should not attempt to use any machine tools unless you have been trained to use it. Similarly, it is also very, very wise to find out where the master switch is located so that it can be switched off in case of emergency. Above all, you should be familiar with the start and stop switches on any machine tool. It is also very, very wise to know all the protective devices on any machine tool, the position as well as the function in case of any emergency. Now, for working space generally, you must ensure that there is adequate working space provided in the workshops, in the library, in the lab, or in the industry. Then, of course, there should also be enough space between the machines themselves, as well as those, especially those that have revolving parts. Similarly, inadequate working space, of course, is very, very dangerous for works in case of accidents. Now, in the care of general handling, all moving or revolving parts of machines must be provided with guards like protective screen or shield. Now, the guards for drilling machines, sewing machines, it should not be removed unless for maintenance or repair purposes, in which case they must be replaced immediately after. Above all, you should isolate the power source before fixing belts on machines. Now, for personal safety, which is also, of course, termed as the ABC of safety, that is, always be careful. And this involves the mode of dressing, the appearance of the technicians and other personnel coming into the vicinity of machines in the workshop. In terms of the type of clothing that should be worn, you must ensure that you have safe working clothes. For example, the recommended standard of overall must be worn, and we therefore avoid flying clothes into the workshop. Then, similarly, wearing of apparels like rings, bracelets, loose ties, chains, etc. are also not advisable, as they can easily get entangled with rotating machine, which can simply result into accidents. Of course, the entire face when you are working within the vicinity of machines, especially drilling machines, should have coverings like eye goggles. Then, of course, our feet should have protective shoes. In other words, open slippers or sandals should be discouraged in the workshop. Now, we're going to carry out a sort of evaluation on the basis of our lecture series so far. And the first question here is, why is safety necessary for electrical appliances? And then I also want you to mention or write down 3 safety rules with respect to 1. Machine tools, hand tools, and general handling of machines. Now, by way of conclusion, our lecture so far has been on electrical safety rules and regulation. We have discussed the essence of safety in the electrical workshop. We have said that safety is necessary to prevent accidental work. We also said that it is also essential in order to safeguard the life of the personnel that are working within the vicinity of the machines, as well as the machines themselves. And we have also highlighted that in the industries or workshops, safety rules and regulations, as well as the codes of practice and general safety precautions, are usually conspicuously displayed within the premises. And it was on the basis of that our lecture centered on specific safety requirements with respect to the workshop safety itself, personal safety, care of hand tools, care of machine tools, working space, as well as the general space safety. Now, we're going to take home this assignment. 1. Explain safety rules and regulations with respect to the following: personal safety, care of hand tools, care of machine tools. You are expected to submit your answers to this email at amojeba@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.